I'm John Davis, and this is MotorWeek.
Join us as we drop the top on the all-new Fiat 124 Spider. Pat Goss enlightens us with more good car care advice. Zach Maskell goes over the edge with a true Fiat aficionado. And we'll see how the reborn Buick LaCrosse stacks up.
So come drive with us next.
MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine, brought to you by
Tire Rack wants you to be smart with your car.
Yo, Danny, my man!
They can help you choose the right tires for your vehicle and have them shipped to a local installer. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers, offering a variety of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
While Fiat is well known worldwide for their diminutive 500 or Cinquecento, it's the 124 Coupe and Spider that first introduced most Americans to the brand back in the late 1960s. And after using the 500 to reintroduce themselves here in the States, Fiat has now launched an all-new 124 Spider for us to enjoy. But this is no throwback Italian two-seat sports car.
Up to now, the cars making up Fiat's U.S. return have indeed been diminutive, mostly economy-minded affairs. But the overall effect of Fiat's return has been anything but small, merging with Chrysler in 2014 to create Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. And now things get a whole lot more exciting with the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider. Now, this is where we tell you that this 124 is actually built on the same chassis as the Mazda MX-5, and further comes out of the same Japanese plant. But this is far from a story about international badge engineering. They really do look a lot different, at least outside, especially when parked next to each other. Where the MX-5 has gotten meaner looking over the years, the 124 looks classy with a nicely modern update of 60s Italian style. The 124 Spider certainly has a sporty character, but instead of begging you to seek apexes, it yearns for mountain passes and a more relaxed grand touring pace. It's less edgy and more compliant, a kinder, gentler, and softer MX-5, if you will, very reminiscent of the first Miata. The engine is another clear departure. In place of the Miata's naturally aspirated 2-liter is the same 1.4-liter multi-air turbo 4 found in other current Fiats, including the raucous 500 Abarth. Here it spins up 160 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. It winds up quickly, but despite more horsepower and torque, an increase in size and weight makes the 124 a tad less spirited off the line than the MX-5. Though the exhaust note adds to its much-enjoyed Italian flair. And it surely fits in with the character of the original 124 Spider, which was an everyman's take on a Ferrari. We hit 60 in 7.6 seconds and cleared the quarter mile in 15.8 seconds at 91 miles per hour. Refreshing. Our tester came with the optional 6-speed automatic in place of the standard 6-speed manual. It worked well enough with smooth shifts, but really could use some paddle shifters for truly living out the Italian dream. Yes, you can shift manually with the shifter itself, but it's just not the same. After taking a few trips through the cones, our early impressions were confirmed. The 124 Spider does respond softer than a Miata. Steering is numb feeling but accurate, and there's always the possibility of snapping the rear loose, as even with the cushier feel, the car remains plenty responsive. But while unique outside and under the hood, the interior is another story. It's almost a direct MX-5 copy, including dash-top infotainment screen that responds to touch and a console-mounted controller. To get navigation, you have to opt for Lusso trim and then add the Premium Collection package. The 124's gauges look great, and steering wheel placement is just about perfect. Also, there's still no dash-mounted glove box, rather a storage bin in between the seats, but you do get an outside trunk release. And with 5.5 inches more length, there's more room in the 124's trunk, 4.9 cubic feet versus the MX-5's 4.6. And we love the fact that top operation is still one hand, full down, simple. Thank you, Fiat, for not complicating that. Government fuel economy ratings are 25 city, 36 highway, and 29 combined. We average just 27.1 miles per gallon, and this tiny turbo does require premium. The energy impact score is still good, however, at 11.4 barrels of annual oil consumption with CO2 emissions of 5 tons. There are 3 models of 124 to choose from, starting with Classica at $25,990. For what it's worth, that makes it the lowest priced turbocharged convertible in America, but also $240 more than a base MX-5. So overall, if you like the MX-5, you'll like the 124. Though while clearly not politically correct, we do think the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider will easily appeal more to female buyers, though it will certainly attract fans of the original 124 as well. Mazda says that without the Fiat partnership for the 124, a new MX-5 might not have happened. Now that would have been a calamity. So we're ecstatic that Fiat decided to bring back the 124 Spider for a global tie-up that everyone who loves to drive should go out and celebrate. Our success story this week takes us to Talladega, Alabama, where one company is hauling clean with CNG. Virginia Transportation Corporation moves new vehicles from railroads, ports, and plants. This 100% CNG dedicated fleet trailers 1,200 SUVs, pickups, and minivans per day from the nearby Honda assembly plant to the railhead right next to their brand new CNG station.
We designed, we built, we own, we operate, we maintain this station. So we are completely self-sustainable, and that's a great feeling.
By using CNG, this fleet will displace about 475,000 gallons of diesel per year, reducing CO2 emissions. With partners like the Alabama Clean Fuels Coalition, Virginia Transportation is committed to clean energy for the long haul.
For our over-the-edge guy, we knew that the new Fiat 124 Spider probably wouldn't suffice. Time now to cruise with Zach Maskell and a collector with enough of the original 124 Spiders to provide transportation for an Italian wedding party.
Pottstown, Pennsylvania, sitting about 40 miles northwest of Philadelphia, is where you'll find Sean Folkerts and his family. And they have more Fiat Spiders and other classic Italian hardware than just about anyone else on this side of the Atlantic.
I mainly specialize in Fiat, Lancia, Pininfarina, Bertone, and then some of the other off-brands, Bitters, Citroen, Alfa Romeo.
He was a scientist before he moved full-time to automobileology. This building holds most of the 200 mostly Fiat cars he owns. What was your first car, then what was your second?
My first car was a 1981 Fiat Spider, red, that I bought when I was 16 years old in 3 days. And the second one was a parts car that I needed to fix the rear differential on that very first Fiat Spider.
So it was cheaper for you to get a parts car than it would have been to fix the rear deck.
That's correct, and I ended up with a lot of spare parts in the process.
Sean has a favorite car for each purpose, whether that's out to dinner on a Friday night or taking his shop help to soccer practice.
My wife and my daughter are a great help, and they share my passion for all of these cars, and we have a great time with them.
Friends get to have fun too. He and his wife knew they had the perfect solution for getting their wedding party from point A to B.
There was never a chance of us hiring a limousine. We have all these great cars to use, so basically each of our groomsmen got a set of keys and a bridesmaid, and we used all of our cars in the wedding party.
And family vacations, well, they'll often include a pit stop. You see, Sean can't buy everything he likes, but he can accept some. Regardless of the reason, if the owners can't keep them anymore, they're loaded on a trailer and added to his collection. Sean was nice enough to let us cruise in his pride and joy, a Fiat 124 Spider. Oh yeah, it's super easy to drive. Comfortable seats, I like the gear shifter, clutch is simple. What are we in right now?
This is an 82 Spider, which the model went from about 1966 up to 1985 and a half. The 85 and a half was its own model, and the 83 to 85 was its own model. So this is sort of the last of the Fiat-built Spiders. This is my favorite car ever. It's a twin-cam, Lampredi-designed engine, four-wheel disc brakes, 5-speed synchronized transmission. There's really nothing that I don't like. There's a very short linkage on this transmission. It's maybe 6 or 8 inches. Other than that, you're basically going straight into the transmission here, so you get a real nice direct feel.
Ah.
There's nothing to get in your way.
Okay. Not 5 minutes into our drive, we were being pointed out of the crowd.
You hear everybody yelling, "Look at that car!" I love that.
In fact, visitors from Europe, Canada, and the West Coast frequent the warehouse. If you need a reference point or a tip, this guy is happy to help.
These cars came with power windows, but it takes about 1.5 minutes for them to get up.
Oh my God, that's 1 week motor.
Yeah, anybody that's considering buying one of these, make sure you get the manual windows.
Why all these classic Italian cars? Sean feels they embody the same passion that makes older Ferraris and Lamborghinis so desirable, but were much easier to buy and live with.
It's time now for our weekly trip to Goss's Garage. Let's see what Pat has to enlighten us with this week.
Well, most of you call them idiot lights. Now, why, I don't know, because they're a valuable part of the instrument cluster and other parts of your car. What I can tell you is that the only idiot involved here is the person who ignores their so-called idiot lights because they're trying to tell you something, and no, they don't lie all the time. These lights are very, and I do mean very, reliable. Now, there are basically 3 grades of warning lights. There is the green light. The green light means that something is working and it's working properly. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Green means go. But then you have yellow lights. Well, yellow lights mean, just like they do at the traffic signal, they mean caution. Something is or is about to go wrong, and you need to pay attention, and you need to know what that light means so that you know exactly what evasive maneuvers you need to perform. But then, of course, we have the granddaddy of them all, and that is the red warning light. Now, if you're on the highway and you come up against a traffic signal that's red, it doesn't mean stop another block down the road or another mile or anything like that. It means stop right now. And the red warning light on your dash, well, that means exactly the same thing. Because a red warning light means that you don't have oil pressure or your engine is seriously overheated or something like that. So what that means is that that extra mile or even that extra block could cost you an engine. So the key here is pay attention to warning lights. Number 1, look at your owner's manual and see what each one of the warning lights on your dash means so that you know what to do when one of them comes up. And remember that green means go, yellow means caution, and red means stop right now. And if you have a question or comment, drop me a line right here at MotorWeek.
There's certainly no shortage of new 2016 Honda Pilots on the road, and no shortage of miles being racked up on our long-term example either, having put over 17,000 on the dial over the last 8 months. Every weekend it seems our 3-row, 6-passenger Pilot is off on another getaway. And there haven't been any major complaints about seat comfort or usefulness. In fact, most recently, the logbook was full of praise for the multitude of storage bins and shelves up front for stashing electronic devices and no doubt snacks as well. The 280 horsepower 3.5-liter V6 continues to deliver good power with fuel economy back on the uptick to 23.1 miles per gallon. Surely the 9-speed automatic transmission helps, yet some of our crew find its operation is not always the smoothest. Ditto for the auto stop-start system, which is a necessary MPG evil we're all going to have to live with. Just 1 month and 2,500 miles into our time with this 2016 Kia Optima midsize sedan, and it has already revealed itself to be a really nice, comfortable, high-speed cruising machine. Extended seat time is a breeze in this cozy car, with only a little more than expected wind noise at highway speeds to dampen our enthusiasm. And speaking of noises, there's an odd one coming from our car's dash that's clearly linked to the HVAC system. It comes and goes sporadically, so hopefully it will reveal itself when we make a trip to the dealer to get it checked out. Auditory oddities aside, we're currently averaging a great 28.9 miles per gallon from the 2-liter Turbo 4 and have no complaints about the power that it delivers. The interior of this SX Limited example is quite posh, and though a few initially thought it a bit showy, it gets compliments from most who see it. From one extreme to the other, we'll check in on our Mazda MX-5 Miata and Winnebago View 24J RV on the next MotorWeek long-term road test update. Now let's head inside to the Motor News desk and Yolanda Vazquez with the latest.
Last year, Nissan made it clear they have no plans of tapping out of the full-size truck game as they launched an all-new Titan XD. Its available Cummins turbo diesel V8 has brought the Titan's capabilities closer to Detroit's heavy-duty pickups. And now, in addition to revealing the full Titan lineup, they've announced America's Best Truck Warranty, with bumper-to-bumper coverage of 5 years or 100,000 miles for all 2017 Titan full-size trucks. That's a big step up over the typical 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper protection warranty on most pickups, though some do have as much as a 100,000-mile powertrain-only warranty for diesel models. That peace of mind strategy has sure worked for Hyundai and Kia over the years, and no doubt dealers are looking forward to having an additional bargaining chip to entice customers to jump over to the Titan way of thinking. The only downside is if you've already purchased a 2016 Titan XD, you're not invited to the Best Truck Warranty Party. In other engine news, Nissan will unveil the world's first production-ready variable compression ratio engine at the upcoming Paris Motor Show. It's called the VCT for Variable Compression Turbocharged, and this 2.0-liter engine will arrive soon in a yet-to-be-named Infinity product. In the works for over 20 years, it's proof that there are still plenty of ways to skin this internal combustion cat. The goal is to optimize efficiency to improve fuel economy without sacrificing performance. It does this by mechanically controlling how far the pistons travel up the cylinders, varying the compression ratio from 8:1 to 14:1. But the hardware is the easy part. Developing the software to continuously and reliably do this has taken up the bulk of man-hours. And we'll just have to wait for the Paris Motor Show to get the full details. So for now, that's it for this week's Motor News.
In a world where customer service is often severely lacking, Joseph A. McKelly makes a case in his book, Driven to Delight, Delivering World-Class Customer Experience the Mercedes-Benz Way. Mercedes-Benz's dedication to providing the ultimate ownership experience has been a major key to their success here in America. Of course, they make a great product, as do many other car companies.
But it was the Driven to Delight program put into place by MB USA CEO Stephen Cannon that has made the Mercedes-Benz ownership experience an unrivaled one and a pattern for the rest of the industry and all businesses to follow.
Things are looking better than ever at Buick showrooms with a lineup that not only boasts unique style, setting them apart from their General Motors brethren, but also some honest-to-goodness driving dynamics that are finally helping to bring in those elusive younger buyers. Now there's an all-new LaCrosse that looks to keep that trend trending.
While the 2017 Buick LaCrosse is not a make-or-break model for this global brand, if it were to be a big success here, that would surely go a long way towards keeping the brand viable for years to come. Regrettably, it will not only have to go up against its usual near-luxury competitors, but it'll have to fight for attention in its own showroom. Trying to lure people away from the SUVs and crossovers they are no doubt there to check out is a challenge for all brands. Still, after hitting the roads around Portland, Oregon, we immediately found that this new LaCrosse was very pleasant to drive. Noticeably lighter and more agile than its predecessor, especially on interesting roads, not something we've ever said about any Buick utility. This LaCrosse advantage is due to a fresh structure with a new 5-link rear suspension and an optional hyperstrut front suspension. That mission is furthered if you continue opting and go for the 20-inch wheels and continuous damping control active suspension. Yet true to a Buick, it remains extremely quiet inside, despite the use of lighter sound-absorbing materials. And good seat comfort means you can spend plenty of time inside before having to step out into the real world's harsh reality. Engine duties are carried out by a 3.6-liter V6 with 310 horsepower and 282 pound-feet of torque. It features an active fuel management cylinder cutoff system that lets it act like a 4-cylinder whenever possible. There's an 8-speed automatic and the combo provides adequate power, but the transmission seems to be the weak link. It's plenty smooth on the upshifts, but hesitant with the downshifts when you're seeking a quick pass. Automatic stop-start is also part of the picture, and while it's unable to be switched off, at least it's a smooth system barely noticeable on startup. A new dual-clutch all-wheel drive arrangement can be had as well, but only with premium trim. Visibility improved somewhat, but we still found the thick A-pillars obtrusive. In the back seat, there's plenty legroom for adults, but headroom seems tight. Buick's much improved 8-inch IntelliLink display blends in nicely with the dash, and there's a small number of manual controls just below. Notably, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. Everything inside appears quite luxurious, as materials are certainly improved, looking more upscale and feeling softer. Some trim levels even feature real wood. Finally, the trunk area is more nicely finished, and there's additional space to be found in it, climbing to 15 cubic feet. The split-folding rear seats with pass-through add even more. LaCrosse exterior styling is very pleasing, featuring the new face of Buick, first found on the Avenir concept. Though it doesn't look all that different from the old face, save for a more open-appearing grille, with a return of the 3-color Tri-Shield badge, now with chrome spears attached. The body ticks all the new design boxes, being longer, lower, wider, and about 300 pounds lighter. And of course, there's LED signature lighting. Wheelbase is close to 3 inches longer than before at 114.4. Standard wheels are 18s. A wide variety of safety features are either standard or available depending on trim, but full front automatic braking is only available with premium and requires adding the Driver Confidence Package number 2. Government fuel economy ratings for front-wheel drive are 21 city, 31 highway, and 25 combined. Even with a $1,000 increase over last year, prices start very reasonably at $32,990. But things escalate rapidly from there, on the way up to premium trim with all-wheel drive at closer to $45 grand. There's no denying that products from Buick and GM in general are their best ever. Still, everyone else's products have improved as well. So the 2017 Buick LaCrosse is facing an uphill battle. Fortunately, LaCrosse has shown up well equipped for the fight with a much improved ride and handling balance, as well as the best interior we've ever seen from Buick. Let's just hope this beauty of a Buick doesn't fly under the radar.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, for more MotorWeek, why not check out our podcast as well as complete episodes at pbs.org/MotorWeek. And I hope you'll join us next time when we hop behind the wheel of the surprising Mazda CX-9. Then the good times get seriously rolling with the Audi RS7. Till then, I'm John Davis. We'll see you right here on MotorWeek.
To learn more about MotorWeek, television's original automotive magazine, visit pbs.org/MotorWeek. To order a DVD of this program, call 1-800-873-6154. MotorWeek has been brought to you by
Tire Rack wants you to be smart with your car.
Yo, Dana, my man!
They can help you choose the right tires for your vehicle and have them shipped to a local installer. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
Rock Auto has auto parts from hundreds of manufacturers, offering a variety of brands, prices, and specifications. RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
This program was produced by Maryland Public Television, which is solely responsible for its content.